Here we'll talk about how to find the asymptotes of rational functions. We started with the function 2x squared plus 12x plus 10 divided by x squared minus 3x minus 4. In part 1 of the series, we changed that into factored form, and then in part 2, we canceled out the x plus 1 on the top and bottom of the factored form and got the simplified form 2 times x plus 5 divided by x minus 4. To find the vertical asymptote of this rational function, we will now set the bottom equal to 0, but we'll use the simplified form, not the factored form. We will cancel out the whole, as we did in the previous video, before trying to find the vertical asymptotes. Therefore, we will say x minus 4, which is on the bottom of the simplified form, is equal to 0, and therefore we'll have x equals 4. This will be our vertical asymptote. You can see that if you change to simplified form, it doesn't take too much math to find a vertical asymptote. On the next slide, we'll now discuss horizontal asymptotes. To find the horizontal asymptotes, we must first check the powers of the highest power terms on top and bottom. There are 3 possibilities for how to find horizontal asymptotes based on those powers. We'll review the possibility of if the top is higher power, if the bottom is higher power, or if they're the same power. If the top has a larger power than the bottom, we will have no horizontal asymptote at all, and we will say D in E. If the bottom has a higher power than the top power, we will immediately say that our horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. However, if we have the same power on the top and the bottom, we will divide the highest power terms. Some instructors may tell you instead to divide the leading coefficients. This is also fine. In our case, we can see that the top power is x squared, that's the highest power on top, and the bottom's highest power is also x squared, so we can say the top and bottom are the same power. Therefore, we can divide our leading coefficients, or whatever our highest power terms are. Our highest power term on top is 2x squared, and our highest power term on bottom is x squared. If we divide, the x squares will cancel, and will give us 2. Therefore, we can say our horizontal asymptote in this case is y equals 2. We'll go through how to draw that in a later video, but for now, we'll stop here and say that our horizontal asymptote is y equals 2.